So guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all well. Welcome back to Celtic News. And we have got a lot to cover in today's video. Of course, we are in the midst of the transfer window, and there's been a lot of speculation about who Celtic could sign this window. And today, Fabrizio Romano has provided some huge news with regards to a potential transfer. And this one is some very positive news, actually. As well as that, we're also going to discuss another huge deal and see what's happening with that. It's one that we spoke about recently. So yeah, a lot to talk about in today's video, and hopefully something concrete does happen soon and some players do join the club, because we are in desperate need of reinforcements to really try and reclaim the top of the table and try and win the title, of course, and see what we can do in Europe as well. But without further ado, let's get into the stories. Make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Right, so let's start with the Joel Piroe story. So of course, on January the 16th, we spoke about this on a previous video. Sky Sports journalist Anthony Joseph basically said Celtic have held talks over signing Leeds United forward Joel Piroe. Celtic will prefer a loan and can meet the wage expectations. Leeds due to make a decision. They've no indication if he wants to leave. 49ers involvement could also complicate things, which is something we suspected. Of course, 49ers have a huge stake in Rangers. Well, they own Rangers, and of course they own Leeds as well. So there was a bit of complications with the deal. And that has today been confirmed. So Anthony Joseph said, update, Leeds United were surprised by Celtic's approach for Joel Piroe due to their connection to Rangers. Sky Sports News revealed last week that Celtic FC explored a loan deal, but due to the 49ers ownership of Leeds and Rangers, it was a non-starter for them. So Joel Piroe will not be joining the boys, unfortunately. It's not good. I think he could be a really good player for us. He's 26 years old. He's kind of reaching those peak years, and he's a very, very capable striker, a very good goal scorer. I remember at Swansea, he was very clinical for them. A Swansea side that were like a mid-table in the Championship as well, but he was very, very good, hence why Leeds bought him, and they went on to win the league. So it's a big missed opportunity, and I don't want to dwell on it too much because, of course, we felt like it wouldn't happen due to the connection with Rangers and Leeds, of course. But it is a big blow, unfortunately. And he would have been a good signing for us. So we'll see what happens with him in the future. But he's not going to come to Celtic, unfortunately. But let's get into another interesting story with regards to Fabrizio Romano. And this is a guy we discussed recently on the channel, a guy that I'm a big fan of. And I think a lot of the comments I read as well, they were kind of supporting the fact that Datro Fofana could be a good option for Celtic as well. And that is that Fabrizio Romano said Chelsea recalled David Datro Fofana from loan as he's set for a new move in the upcoming days, and Chelsea and Fofana's camp working on a permanent exit. So when you're linked heavily to a player and you see this type of move happening, it does kind of fill you with some sort of excitement, because of course it seems like he's eyeing up his next move. And this time it'll be a permanent move. Now, I spoke briefly about David Datro Fofana. I looked at his loan moves that he was making since joining Chelsea, and I don't know who's in charge of his moves. Maybe it's Chelsea, maybe it's his agent. I don't know, but they just haven't been good choices whatsoever. I mean, I'll try and get up we'll get up his recent history as well. So, if I go David Datro Fofana, some of the moves he was making, Union Berlin on paper was okay, but this is a Burnley side that will face relegation. Like, how many goal opportunities are you actually going to get as a striker? It's not a great move for a young player. Göztepe is like a Turkish league team. Didn't do very good there either. And of course, his team that he's on loan at now is also another Turkish team. But these are teams that aren't doing great in their own respective leagues, So I don't know who was in charge of his career, like who's telling him to go to these clubs, but it just doesn't make sense. But on the other hand, you come to Celtic, you're playing for a team that domestically are the best, and for a striker, for your confidence as well, he's going to score a lot of goals for us. We create a lot of chances right now. We just haven't got a clinical goal scorer. And I think David Datro Fofana would be a superb signing for us, honestly. So I'm very excited at the prospect of this one actually happening. And of course, he's still very young. He's 23 years old. He just turned 23 as well. He's a young boy. He's a young player. And I think Celtic is a perfect move for him to get his career back on track, honestly. And, this guy's been called up to Ivory Coast years ago, in 2019 when he was like 17 years old. This guy had a lot of promise behind his name. Of course, that's why Chelsea signed him. But of course, when you got a lot of players that go to Chelsea when they're young, it doesn't really work out. And then this didn't happen for David Datro Fofana. And I think Celtic really could do with him. And I think David Datro Fofana could really do with Celtic as well, to be honest with you. I think it's a win-win situation for both sides. But guys, that's kind of all we have with the transfer news. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of noise around the club right now. Fans are pissed off. They are pissed off because there's not a lot of moves happening. Martin O'Neill's publicly said in press conferences, you've got to bear with us. Kind of what to expect this transfer window. But still, you get frustrated. You see a team struggling in the league and you know that you need reinforcements, and you see a board pissing about, not actually making any moves happen. The speculation, but unfortunately, speculation means nothing unless a move actually happens. I'm getting excited about David Datro Fofana, potentially coming to Celtic because he's now returning back to Chelsea, but there's actually nothing concrete right now about a player actually coming through the door at Celtic, which is, annoying. That is an annoying situation to be in right now. As a fan, of course, you want to see players come in. You want to see a team get better, especially when we've had a very poor season so far. But yeah, I'm excited at the prospect of certain transfers, but I don't want to get my hopes up when there's no real concrete things happening right now with players coming through the door. So we'll see what happens in the next few days. I was about to say weeks, but we're kind of reaching the last week or so now as we get into the end of the transfer window. And it's the same old story with Celtic, isn't it? You reach the last few days and we panic buy someone on loan from somewhere. So we'll see if we can get a move materialised sooner than that. But guys, of course, let me know your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video. What did you make of the game the other day as well? I thought it was a very, of course, interesting performance against a very small-sided Scotland. Got the job done. That's all that matters. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that as well. And of course, make sure you drop a like on this video. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well for more content just like this, because we post every single day, especially during the transfer window when there is a lot of speculation around the club. But for now, thank you. Take care. Goodbye.